A red bandana, a fateful glimpse. The coup was planned, the Walmart supply line was, in his mind, infiltrated. General Beauregard was teetering on the apex of his own grandiose self-image. And as is so often the case in these Southern Gothic folk tales, that is precisely when the universe decides to hand you the shovel for your own grave. The flop began, as so many tragedies do, with a donkey. We were back at the Ashley County Fair. The general was not hustling this time. He was romping on a victory tour, a feathery god emperor surveying his territory. He was clutching his big chief pen, accepting the imagined adoration of his subjects. And then he saw him. His name was Bronky the Donkey. Bronky was a brown and white fella, mostly brown with a white undercarriage. He was owned by the Miller kids who used him to haul pumpkins. He was, by all accounts, a simple beast. He was not ornamental or boastful. He was just a donkey. But Bronky the Donkey on this day was cool. He was wearing a red bandana around his neck. That's it. Just a simple, clean red bandana. It wasn't grandiose. It wasn't a big chief pin. It wasn't a Confederate general's name. It was just a red bandana on a brown donkey. And, as I noted at the time, it looked nice on the donkey. It was understated. It was charming. It suggested a vibe. It was, in a word, authentic. The general stopped. He was betwitched. You could see the Tennessee Williams fever dream kicking in. This was intensity of emotion. This was fragility. The general, a creature of pure duct tape fantasy, was being confronted with an object of effortless style. Bronky's bandana was everything the general's big chief pin was not. It was real. It was cool without clutching. It was honor without the hustle. Beauregard looked at the red bandana. Then he looked down at his own kindergarten flop of a pin. You could see the insecure reality of his flop crashing into the grandiose self-image of his honor. This simple, real accessory, worn by a simple, real donkey, had exposed the general's entire life's work, the coup, the supply line, the big chief pen, as a fraudulent performance. He was teetering. He was romping in place, a sure sign of barnyard madness. He was, in a grotesque and poetic way, heartbroken. His fantasy had been punctured by a simple piece of cloth. He didn't say a word. He just turned, romped out of the fairgrounds, and headed back to the outfit. I knew he was a delusional rooster who had just been served with an eviction notice from his own fever dream. He had been outstyled by a donkey. And when a fella like General Beauregard gets shown up, he don't flop. He escalates. The do-rag incident was not a maybe. It was, as of that fateful glimpse, a .com certainty.